All right, it's time to take a look ahead at what we're going to expect to see here in the football season. Week 4 of the, I can't believe it already, week 4 of the football season.
It flies by, yeah. And it's a real big week for a lot of teams. If you're 2-1, you don't want to be sitting 2-2 with 5 to go.
That's right. Tom Markowski and I are here to give you just a preview of a few of the matchups that we're covering. We're not going to even talk this week about all the typical teams we talk about, so we like to put Tom on the spot and test his knowledge on what's going on. A couple of teams in this one we did look forward to. A couple of teams looking for bragging rights in the MAC Silver.
Okay.
You've got 2 teams still undefeated, St. Clair Shores Lakeshore. South Lake taking on Clintondale out of Mount Clemens.
Well, Clintondale is always one of the better teams in the lower divisions. Coach Schindler does a great job there. He's been there for about 8 years. And then they seem to play somebody like a Country Day or somebody like that in state playoffs, and most of the times they don't fare well.
Right.
But within their own region, in their own division, they're really tough. They really play that tight tee, a lot of faking in the backfield. They're really a smash mouth type of team. It's not surprising to see them 3-0 at this time. South Lake's kind of one of these teams. Chan Brock, who's now at Skyline now, used to coach there for a year. They've had a lot of different coaches there over the year. It's really a strange school district in the sense it used to be bigger. Now they only have like 700 students in that school, which is really low for that area.
Yeah.
But they're doing well.
Yeah, both teams 3-0, so we'll see what happens. All right, let's go over to the Flint Metro League, okay? 3-0 Ortonville Brandon matching up with 2-1 Fenton. Fenton won this game 41-zip a year ago, but the Blackhawks have won 5 straight dating back to last season, including they beat Goodrich, who they lost to 33-7 a year ago, beat them on week 1. So Fenton went undefeated last year. We remember that until they lost right away to Harrison. Yep, and started off.
Harrison a good game.
And this year already started off with the loss. They lost the first game to Davison, so kind of handicapped this matchup.
Well, Fenton's one of the better teams there for years. And in fact, I think they beat Temperance Bedford the second week of the season.
Right.
So in my mind, that's a good win for them.
Bedford was coming off a really good year.
Yeah. Well, they were 5-4 last year.
I meant the year before.
The year before they were really good when they lost to CC.
Yeah.
But in fact, the side note, I had Bedford in my top 20, and they're 0-3. So they don't always pick the right ones. Ortonville Brandon, go figure, right?
Yeah, right.
They haven't done anything in a long time. Even when they've made the playoffs in the past, they've not fared well in the state playoffs. Isn't it? I like to see these programs. There's another one, kind of out there, so to speak, and Algonac, that's 3-0, that doesn't really do that well either, normally speaking.
Right, beat Marine City though.
Right, the opener, and they beat K-Pac recently, a team they lost to last year. Okay. So it's a similar situation that Brandon's going through, beating teams that they had lost to the previous year. So
if they could beat Fenton, that would be huge.
That's a feather in the cap right there, because Fenton and Linden are really the cream of the crop in the Flint Metro right now.
Right, and if you're Fenton, and like you said, if you're 2-2, and you lose this one,
that's tough.
That's going to set you back.
Right, because they're going to have tougher games down the road.
All right. One out on the west side. This one, of course, a lot of people are talking about 2-1 Muskegon taking on East Grand Rapids 3-0 to start the year.
You know, I like what Peter Sturzma is doing there. They've been down recently. They've not been your East Grand Rapids that's challenging for state titles recently. Last year they did make the playoffs, lost first round. After last week's win, I thought was really good. I think they went to Caledonia. I believe that was at Caledonia. Beat Caledonia by 7, 35-28. Obviously, they can score points, but I was talking with some people, and I still think Muskegon and Lowell are the 2 best teams on the west side. Now, granted, I have East Kentwood rated ahead of them. They're 3-0. We'll wait and see what happens with Kentwood as the season goes on, because their schedule will get tougher. Getting back to East Grand Rapids and Muskegon, I just think Muskegon's going to have too much muscle. I think they're going to have too much strength on both sides of the line. The speed factor will also favor Muskegon. And for what it's worth, I think a loss to CC that first week, I think it opened up a lot of things at Muskegon where they exposed some of their weaknesses, and I think they had a chance to work on those weaknesses. And it's also a very proud school and program there that they don't take losing lightly. So I think, for what it's worth, I think that loss to CC helped them and hurt everybody else that they play the rest of the season.
All right, well, I'm going to take East Grand Rapids. I think that another proud program that had so much success, I think now they're starting to feel maybe they're turning a corner, because they certainly don't want to be thought of underneath the likes of Lowell and Muskegon. They were the big dogs for a long time. I think that I think it's a close game, and I think somehow EGR finds a way to pull it out.
That would be a huge win.
I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. So anyway, that's a little bit look at the preview. You'll be able to catch highlights of all those games either on State Champs, which is on Sundays at 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Detroit, or of course on Extra Point, which is the Southeast Michigan only show on WXYZ at 11:30. It's Channel 7. But of course, you can see it all at StateChampsNetwork.com. Check it out.